Ever wanted to travel the world?
I'm currently with Mark of Overlander, and I've been following his travel YouTube channel for a long time. I'm a big fan of his work. He's very successful in this area, and I want to ask him a few questions. So it's great to meet up with you today.
Yeah, been great meeting up with you and learning what you're doing too.
Yeah, it's amazing all the the digital nomads out there. We're all doing our own thing, traveling
We're all
the world.
doing it in different ways, and it's there's several methods to getting there, and everyone's doing it. Like as I've been traveling, I've met a guy who was doing online poker. I've met someone who was doing day trading.
That's right.
You've got a travel blog.
Yep.
I'm doing travel videos. So, but
There's a number of ways to do it. Yeah, that's just brilliant.
And I think when you get out there, you like people who are doing the 9 to 5 who want to travel the world. What I've found is once I've got out there and started doing it, I'm amazed to realise how many other people are doing it.
Right.
And it just sort of pushes you on.
It really does. It really does. So a few things I wanted to ask you about is a number of people are getting into videos now. They want to share with their audience, especially travel bloggers or even people going on a vacation, and just want to find some tips maybe for how to they can improve the quality of their videos. So right now we both got mics on. I think that's you were mentioning to me earlier that audio is a big factor.
I think when I watch, sometimes people contact me and say, look, I'm doing travel videos. Can you have a look? Can you tell me what you think? Nothing reeks of unprofessional more than bad audio.
Right.
And I want to just tell you, I had a psychology background, and in getting a message across, if you want to get knowledge across, 70% image, 30% sound. If you want to get emotion across, 70% sound, 30% image. So think of your favourite movie. Every time that big scene happens in your movie, the love scene, the hero's fighting the villain, what's in the background? The violins, the music.
That's right.
So your audio is so important. People don't care if you've got a big mic in your face. It is better to have clean audio, no wind sound. Clean audio, it will kill it every time.
I agree with you completely, absolutely. And most people don't invest in a mic. And you were mentioning before that it's something that's quite affordable. It's not something that you have to spend a great deal of money on.
Look, you can, with a lot of the little cameras, they don't have XLR connectors for professional mics, but you can get a little hard-wired lapel mic that you can just, like the one you've got on there, just wired to your, put on your chest. If it's windy outside, there's little tricks you can do, like you can cut a pen lid in half, put the mic in a pen lid and gaffer it to your bra or gaffer it to your shirt, depending on man or woman, and hide it under your shirt and you cut the wind noise. So there's all these little tricks, and I just think it's so important, audio. I mean, now that anyone can get an amazing image.
Right.
With digital SLR, the imagery that is available, you set a camera up on a tripod, anyone can do time-lapse, but another thing I think is really important is story.
Right.
and
finding your voice.
Finding it, getting a story out of something. And I mean, for me, what I love about doing this is it gives me access to people. It does. If I'm traveling with a camera, I get to go more places than without the camera.
Right.
Because if you find passionate people who want to do a story, you can, it opens some amazing doors.
That's right. And I was talking to you before, you were saying that, there's people that you would never have met had you not been doing this. And that's incredible.
And aspects of the culture that you never would. I remember when I was in Kyoto, I met a guy at the station who, chance meeting, and he wanted to learn English, and I said, hey, let's catch up tomorrow. You show me around the historical sites, we'll spend a day talking English. And he was a little bit shy and a little bit hesitant. Right. He didn't feel he had anything to say. But I'll tell you what, as soon as that camera went on, he was pulling out stories that his grandfather told him about, traditions and bits that I would have never got from reading a guidebook or reading the signs. I was getting this local knowledge, and that's what I love about travel, when you can, be in a place and you can meet a local person and they can give you an insight, and it's like, wow, and if I can capture that in video form and people can get something out of that, see that passion, it makes my job easy.
Yeah, and that's brilliant, because you're capturing moments that, like you said, are not in the guidebook. It's just a list of 10 places to visit. Check that off. That's how a lot of people travel. But I personally find that if you're going out and you're interacting with locals, you're going into a local market, something like that might be the best experience you have in your entire trip somewhere. Yeah.
And I mean, I think we're lucky speaking English. I've realised in Korea, I don't speak Korean, and I mean, the other day I had an elderly woman come up to me, big grin on her face, saying something to me I have no idea, and I just felt gee, I wish I could just have a little bit of a grasp of the language. And I think as English speakers, we are so lucky because pretty much anywhere we go in the world, we will find people who speak English, who can tell us about everything.
Lucky,
you know, it makes it so easy.
That's right, exactly. How about for things such as, lighting is a big deal when you're looking at video. What are some considerations you have when you're focusing on
I have
lighting?
a pretty lightweight kit, and this is pretty much my lighting kit. And a big plug to the company. I'm not going to mention who they are because it's a big enough plug. But I've taken the batteries out. But basically, you can turn that on, and that's a LED lighting. You put it on your mic. You can just put it over the mic. You can hold it. You can gaffer it to your tripod. That is all I travel with for my lighting. That is it.
It looks extremely versatile.
Yeah, and it just works on 3 AA batteries.
I noticed when we were using it before that it made a big difference in the lighting. I could visibly see it.
I think this one, for a lot of the work I do, it's interviews, it's talking to people. I could probably have it on now, but we don't really need it. But it throws about 1 metre to 2 metres. So for a lot of that stuff where you're interviewing people, it's all you need.
Right.
You know, for a close-up of the food, it's all you need. And it weighs nothing. It's easy. And I mean, as you saw before, how I attached it to the tripod. Sometimes you just got to be a little bit ingenious too about how you use things. You had
the mic on the water bottle. That was brilliant too.
I mean, you can set your shots up that you've got light on faces. You don't make it hard for yourself. You know,
right.
You just use what you have available. Yeah.
How about for getting others to engage with you, maybe a little bit shy in front of the cameras? Have you found anything? I
think the best thing is try to help them to forget about the camera.
Right.
When I interview people, I talk a little bit faster. I really keep them engaged and so that they don't have time to think. I just fire.
Yeah.
And the other thing is when you do that, they sense the urgency and then they get the feeling that they don't need to waffle on also. Exactly. So I really talk a bit quicker. I really sort of speed it up. I keep them engaged. Try to make them forget about it. Humour always works. Right. If you can get someone laughing, having a bit of a joke, if you can make yourself look like an idiot, it can make people feel better too. If you can make fun of yourself, you can say, I can't pronounce that word, blah, blah, blah. That can help too. But anything to make people at ease. And generally, it's amazing. Like the amount of people that I've interviewed around the world who have never been in front of a camera before who just shine. Yeah. You know, who absolutely shine and they just
have a knack for it, a natural talent.
I think if people are passionate about something, they want to share it. They want to share the information,
That's right. Oh, that's brilliant. And how about, in terms of gear, what are other things that we've talked about, your mic, your lighting system. How about for someone looking to get into a little more serious with your, in terms of what they're shooting with? Do you have any recommendations for video cameras?
Look, I used to use big shoulder-mounted cameras. I've now gone to a little camera that I'm shooting with now, the XF100, 1 kilo Canon. I can hold it out in front of me. I can talk. I even want to go smaller now. I nearly want to go to where I can have sunglasses, HD sunglasses, video cameras. I'm loving having a smaller camera. It gets me into places where I normally can't get without getting too much attention. But I still have shotgun mic, radio mic. You've got to remember your sound. Don't forget the sound.
Don't forget the sound.
It's very important.
That seems to be the key point here. Yeah, absolutely. So these are, Mark shared some great tips with us here. I think what I really got out of this the most is that really focus on your sound, the audio, and like you said, you don't have to spend a lot of money for that. You can you can get the cheaper external mic. You'd be looking at, you were saying something about $30.
Oh, look, you can get hardwired lapel mics very cheap. Yeah,
exactly, like that. Focus on that. Focus on being naturally in front of the camera. Make other people laugh. Make a bit of a fool of yourself. That's always a good thing.
And I think the other thing is travel videos tend not to always do so well. A lot of people, I think with travel, you have to find your own voice and think of doing something unexpected.
Right.
Doing something that surprises people. Yeah. Whether you add a bit of humour to it, do some comedy, but just making it a little bit out of the ordinary, other than just here are the top 10 sites of Seoul or whatever. Yeah. If you can do that, but try and find a clever way of doing it. I think it's really important to try and be creative and to find your own voice, and that sometimes takes time. It's interesting. The more I make videos, the more I realise I pretty only got one sort of video to make. I like to sometimes make more serious videos, but I realise that generally my style of video is just, pretty laid back, bit of humour, interviewing people, and I think you find your voice over time of what your style is, and everyone's got their different style. Don't try and copy off anyone else. Get some key points from them. Right. I mean, I look at Z Frank on YouTube, and I think he, the godfather or the grandfather of vlogging, and I can see little things that I can adopt, whatever. But I'm not him. I do my own stuff.
Ultimately, you're yourself.
Yeah, right? and I think that's the biggest tip too. And just find your own voice. Yeah.
And I think the way your particular style is that you really connect with your audience that way. When you're being informal, when you're having fun, when you're laughing.
Yeah. I made a video where I asked people what sort of videos they wanted to watch, and I was surprised by the responses. Some people said they wanted to see where I was staying, the accommodation. Right. Some people said they wanted to see the food. So I took that on board and I started doing videos about food, videos about the accommodation. And I thought, how the hell am I going to make accommodation interesting? Featuring where I'm staying. Who cares? But, you can. And I think the biggest comment that someone said that resonated with me was, as long as I'm having fun, they're enjoying watching it. And I think that's so true. If you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're passionate about what you're doing, that comes across.
It shows. Yeah. You can just tell. So these are some great tips by Mark, and for all the the people that are aspiring to take better videos, to do things, I think just really getting out there, practicing doing it, considering some of those tips with the gear and everything, and finding your voice. Just keep at it and keep having fun.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks, Samuel.
Yep. You're welcome.